ages you reign, Jehovah, Omega, worship your name. Of honor and praise, ever and ever, we worship your name. He's worthy, so worthy, for honor and praise, forever and ever, we worship his name. I know a lot of people always ask me, why do I play this song? Because, first of all, the name is Judah. Okay, and we are from the tribe of Judah. And this is also my church back in New York. And the pastor that used to actually shepherd over us, name was, I play it because I remember his teachings, and he was a great shepherd. You know, he was a great teacher. You know, he had his parts. And another thing is that, being that I'm from New York and I know that President Trump knows him, the Dr. Floyd Harold Flake, that was my pastor, that was my shepherd that watched over my soul, my spirit. And he's a great teacher. And this choir right here, this his choir. This is what I'm used to seeing in the church. From a cathedral, a big church and everything. We ain't never see this kind of foolishness you see. I don't know what it's like now because I haven't been here in a long time, but this was a church I used to attend in Jamaica, Queens, New York. His Bible studies, his prayer meetings, everything. And every time I came through the church, you know, he used to see me a little bit different from everybody else because I'm the traditional church girl. When I used to come through, the hat, my looking nice in my dresses and everything else like that. Not that I'm there for the pastor. I was basically there to dress for the Lord and to let others see me as a living sacrifice for the Lord. People come in like they just jumped out the hamper of the church. That's why I can't go in these churches today. It's messy. It's messy. We wasn't trained like that, and Jamal should know better. His father actually had to take a leave his leave his role as a bishop just because of Jamal's behavior. It was so bad in the AME church was, oh my God. They was like, we can't have this kind of ministry. And then that's when he inherited missionary Baptist New Birth Missionary Baptist Church. And I be telling Jamal, I'm your sister from Christ. I'm trying to just say this because I need you to understand. I do know your dad. He was my bishop at one time too. And I know Bishop John Bryant is your dad. And you acting like this. You are not setting a good example for our people whatsoever. And then on top of that, attacking President Trump. Who's getting in your head to attack President Trump, Jamal? You used to hang out with Trump. Used to be in his apprentice little television, whatever he had going on. Remember, Jamal? And then on top of that, didn't President Trump save these HBCUs that you came out of? I mean, really, I don't like it. It's hard. It's horrible. You sitting attacking a man that basically helped with your education for a lot of black children with the HBCUs. So it's a lot of work that Trump has done while he was there at the Democrat. When they saw, and Trump was trying to warn us before it even got to this point with Obama. But we didn't listen because we were so flesh in our eyes. So I wasn't into politics really that much. But I do remember, I didn't vote for Trump the first time because I really didn't know if he was really like doing it because of what everybody else was saying. So I said, let me give him a chance. And I mean, he was my president then, and I didn't really have any complaints, at that time before Biden came in, and now, oh, whoa, whoa, the season is changing. Oh my God, this place is starting to look horrible. It's starting to look like I'm living in another world, whatever. I seen just immigrants just flooded. I'm like, where all these immigrants are coming from? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I just wanted to share that testimony with you. And then on top of that, that's just how I'm just saying this because I want Trump to know who I am. Like I'm out here. I know you. You know what I'm saying? I know you. I actually grew up with you. I had followed your work. I have followed you in the business world. That's where I followed Trump. We used to always talk about Trump. He was the conversation. And, I'm one of his. I'm like saying, I'm one of your children I'm one of your little black children. But you hung around them. But that's what Martin Luther King's whole dream was. That was what Jesse's dream was. But these people are getting in the way. You know what I'm saying? We know our story. And we got all these different people from all different places of the world living around us and different gods and different religions and all that other stuff. We can't see who we are. We fighting among people that might be even our sisters and brothers. People going out there dying. We don't know if they belong to us. And we out there putting our bodies out there as shields. No, that's not the civil rights. Everything was done in a strategy. Martin Luther King did not march us back to the Democrats. It was those NWACP and also those black organizations and brotherhood stuff. And Trump been trying to warn us. These brotherhoods are dangerous. They're very dangerous. You got to be so groupthink. And sometimes you see people doing something that's harming another person and they innocent and they all got to be together. That's what Obama told them. Roll the tape. When you go back to Jesse Jackson's funeral, I'm gonna get the tape, okay? So y'all will follow me. I could be here for a minute. I ain't got no job, but I'm gonna have that child care center that lady fired me from because she's not supposed to have it. It's mine. How you gonna fire me for something that's mine? I was doing the right thing, not you. You fired me on the telephone. That just showed how unprofessional you was. You wasn't really there to hear my side. You was just ready to do it anyway. Y'all feel kind of like, oh, she's getting to be a problem because I was like, every time I had any kind of conversation and when they want me to wear a t-shirt, I'm a 59 years old woman. If I come to work, I should come as long as I look decent to work with children. Don't be putting me on no uniform. I don't do that. And then on top of that, I like to look the part. I'm not going to just jump out the hamper to go to school. I like the children to look at me as they teacher. And sometimes the way you dress reveals to who you are. And children look at you and they give you a certain more kind of respect when you walk in the classroom and they know you the teacher. They know you the teacher. And that's how I had to train my children. But every time I went in these little child care from these liberals and these DEI programs or whatever grant money they got through, they funneled through our system through. That's why I say shut down the crypto. Don't do no more crypto. We going back to banking, and we doing it the way it used to be done, so you could build the relationship in your community. You know who's handling your money. You know who's living who, and you do it that way. We don't want no more of that kind of online, banking stuff with new coins, how to make money. No, you're wiping out the dead presidents. We got to keep them dead presidents because that's what's protecting our currency. When we let our currency go through these systems, that's how the beast got a hold of us, okay? Got into the system. So we got to leave those things alone. When it comes to the money in the United States of America, it's sacred money. It can't go, we can't be messing around with these crypto people. Okay? That's all I'm saying. As long as we stay in the dollar bills, that's why God anointed that money. He says no. And we went and doing all of this stuff, money, and then all of a sudden we feeding the beast. The beast is in these money systems. Stay with the old way of your money exchange or your money transactions or whatever you're doing because these people, they can get in your information being in these systems like that. Even with this cash app and all of this stuff, you don't know how they know how to break down these things. These people stay being wicked. Okay, so leave your money off the internet. I'm just saying, just leave your money because now that they know they going home because the Jesus is here with the keys like he said he gonna come, and some are just not gonna be in the book of life. They going in the lake of fire. They're going in the lake of fire. And it's just so many going there because they love their flesh. They love the world. They don't want to do right. They don't want to accept him. They think it's just okay to just go out there and just make up their own gods without giving anybody, without any discernment. That's why you're going to hear about a lot of crime. You're going to hear, oh, this person got shot. They think they're going to run and hide and go to another city. They're going to get, God anointed everything around America. So you cannot hide. Only thing you can do is listen to what I'm saying and leave. Y'all don't like it here. Y'all complain. Y'all want to practice the gods you want to practice, and that's not our God. And we're not going to compromise our God for yours. You either going to accept the life down here and be an American and be into the American spirit and do it in spirit and in truth. Because you do it in a lie, it's going to get caught out there. You're going to get convicted. And guess what? You stripped of your citizenship or whatever it is, and you out of the United States of America. You are here as a person to come here, help work with us and build a relationship in the community or whatever. We're not trying to say every one of y'all are bad, but there's just a whole lot of y'all. Y'all some breeding coaches. We can't keep up with y'all. Y'all got to take that stuff back to your country. We can't be trying to find out who's Akbar and all these foreign names and everything. No, I'm glad my parents gave me a typical, I don't want to say it in a bad way, God forgive me, even though they demonize my name, because Casey McDaniel isn't really my real name. It's Karen Cade. And my mother gave me a simple name, Karen Cade. And that name got me through so many doors. Because it was an easy name for people to recognize. There's some names out here, it's just so crazy. I did graphics on names. I said, whatever you get a name, that name is supposed to identify with who you are. I'm an American. I got a typical American girl name, Karen Cade. That's it. So I just left the KC, and McDaniel is my father's name to attach to my dad's name. So I use it for those purposes. And I still got an American name, even with my dad's. McDaniel comes from an Irish American name. It's more like Irish or whatever, but it's still American. It's not a name even though they say, oh, foreigners, no. Most of our presidents came from Britain. They was from British culture because that's who had us. That was our government. We was under kings and queens in the British culture. We broke away from them. That is why in 1776 we got away from all the British stuff and we start building in America, and we had build our own parties. And then there was some that wanted to have slaves and they wanted them to work and just get nothing. And then there's some that wanted us to just really have our own freedom. That was the struggle. Because there was not everybody in America was a slave. And what showed us that was Dr. Martin Luther King. His family wasn't slaves. And they wasn't Democrats. They were Republicans. They were the wealthy black families in America. They built their own wealth in organizations, and he was in the organization, the Southern Church, some kind of where Jesse Jackson was one of his children, what was coming up from out of his college years, and so he took Jesse and he told Jesse and everything they was going to kill him, da 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 da. So he was just trying to tell Jesse some of the things he needed to do to carry the movement. That's the story on the balcony. People making all these other things up. He knew Jesse. Jesse was like a son to him. Jesse was the last one of the prophets because Jesse and John were on that balcony. And they was in the march. They was part of the movement. They was the college kids coming up behind him. And he made sure that Jesse will carry the torch, that these kids will continue to move towards the dream. And then now Jesse is gone. And that's why Jesse built his relationship with Trump. You know, they all grew up together, whether they disagreed or not agree or whatever they did or whatever kind of falling outs or whatever. They all was in the same, group. They was all in the same group. You see the pictures, the memories, and that's what Dr. Martin Luther King said. These are our brothers, my white brothers, and these are my white, sisters. And we don't need to be going all the skin color stuff because we all are American. We American children. They families were the White House, and we were the children that were you could say slave children or the free slave children. But everybody that started building in the black community was building their wealth. They had their own economic system. We weren't like the way people see us now until we got with the Democrats. This wasn't our life. We not this kind of people. The Democrats did this because they never would give us nothing until we have to burn something down or get crazy and wild so they could shoot us and kill us, and then they're going to give us something. Give yourself as a sacrifice. That's their way of thinking. They don't think black people have the mindset or whatever to do better than where they're at. So they keep feeding you this victim story and always feeding you all of this oppression, like Obama. They play on that way of how they make you feel about yourself. And I don't feel that way about myself. That's why I'm always getting fired. And my sister don't understand that. I'm not going to bow to their ways. I'm not going to do it. And that's just the way it is. Either you going to help me out or you don't. Maybe that's what you do, but that's not what I do. I'm not about the world. And they know my spirit is too strong for that. That's what they can't take. They can't break me. You hear how I'm talking? I get very, they can't break me. You see, I get on this internet. That's why I do my face away from the camera because I know my voice, but it don't mean to harm you. And I won't want to harm you if you come at me and the spirit is high in me and I just come in, bam, knock you right on down. So you got to be careful. That spirit is powerful because whatever it rises up and whoever's trying to attack me, I can take you right from this right here. You don't have to be in my presence. I could take that spirit and just wham. You know what I'm saying? That's who Christ was. It's a spirit. When you get into his life and he knows you there, he says, I will be with you always. I don't mess around with too many people. I got to try the spirit. And if the spirit is talking something a little crazy and trying to harm me, I'm going to tear your behind up. He gave me that. He knows how to give me the scriptures to come and tear you up with him. So be careful. That's why I said about Jamal and all of them that did what they did at this man Jesse Jackson's funeral, because I shared my story. And I said, Revelations is here. And it is here. You just don't see it. But I can see America starting to grow and she's getting beautiful because she's ready to push these people out. They getting out of here, whether they like it or not. And they leaving every last one of everything they got here with us. They not taking nothing. Nothing. And they ain't going to touch nothing anyway because God already showed me. He got everything covered and anointed around us so that they won't try no stupid stuff. I showed you where everything is anointed. Our land is anointed. The flag is anointed. The Statue of Liberty is anointed. Then we got the eagle flying around us and he sees everything. So in that eagle, when that eagle come, boom, eagle could see you from woo. We got the most powerful bird in the sky that rules the sky. So why are they going to think they're going to come in the United States of America, A God that we serve, that we've been faithful to, and doing everything we supposed to do, what he asks us to do on this land. Yes, we ain't perfect, but still in all, we work together to build America, and America is so beautiful. Out of all nations, he says, I'm going to come and judge you. These people got to get out of our nation. This ain't the nation God want for these people in our nation. These people with these fornicators and these adulterous and fleshy people, that evil folks are killing people and everything. If they don't do what they want them to do, enslaving people and harming people's lives and putting all that stuff around the children and the altar and the church and the sacraments. And they just don't got no respect. They just out of control. Jamal been like that for a long time, so you know he going in the lake of fire. God is done. He's done with Jamal, done with all of them that don't want to come out of their wicked ways. And Obama, oh, he gonna tear Obama behind up right in front of the people and then destroy him because he was the leader. Him and Biden. You see what he already did to Biden? Biden don't even know where he's at. And he did that to show us that's the same thing he did, and he showed us in Daniel's. In the book of Daniel's, when he King Nebuchadnezzar, he was all, he was from man, he was a nice looking king and everything. He had it all going on. But you know what? God destroyed him in front of the people. So you got to be careful how you put your mouth. Y'all was out to destroy Trump, but God going to destroy each and every last one of y'all because y'all stopping, y'all getting in the way of what Trump is supposed to do and what his assignment is with God to move us forward. And he is doing it, but he's being harmed. He's being attacked by all of them, spiritually attacked, so that he could get weak and then he old but we holding him up because we want to follow him. And y'all getting in the way. We don't want nothing to do with y'all. Y'all have no place in this kingdom. Y'all come with too many dirty, evil things. And it's been going on, and God been watching for years and years and years. And he was just going to wait and see when y'all going to get it together. But it's not getting together. They bringing up more evil stuff. They even trying to erase God to make, in a way where they can harm God's people. God ain't having it no more with these people. And I said, he sent me on a prophetic message. I am like the prophetess. Remember the prophetess Deborah, the judge in the Bible? Some of y'all wouldn't even know her because they don't read their Bible. So y'all go ahead and follow flesh. Go ahead and get offended by what I said. Good. But hopefully this will help you come over to Christ. And that's what I am supposed to do. Because if you don't, you're just going to go right to hell. Right to hell. If you don't repent, you don't give up your wicked ways, you get away from your flesh, stop hurting people, stop gossiping about people, stop putting people's name out there. You ain't even been there to witness nothing, but you trying to slander somebody out here, being a false witness. You will pay. And I kept warning that April Chapman, the unspeakable, untold truth, and that other one, Vince Everett Edison. And then they call themselves Christians, wrapped up with all that flesh in their face. And they looking for something. They looking to take money from people. But you also putting things in people's mind to harm people. Martin Luther King has a daughter, Bernice. He also has a son that he left behind. He got grandchildren. He got family, other members of his family and everything during that time. Why are y'all saying these things? Y'all don't even know this man. Y'all just going by somebody else told you. You wasn't there. And even if you wasn't there, somebody should have taught you about him in your house, about Black history. These are fake Christians. And they sitting up here tearing down the other ones who's doing wrong, but they doing wrong too. So they got the same prank in their eyes. Get those prank out of your eye, and then you could clean your brother and sister's eye. But they so carnal, and all April looking for is opposite. Oh, Trump, and then he know who you are, April. He know you want something from him, and he's not gonna have you on his team. He ain't giving you no opportunities. You and Vince Everett, because he knows the story about Dr. Martin Luther King, because he was with Jesse. So stop it. Stop it. Stop trying to put on this platform phoniness. You phony. You came out of New Birth Missionary Baptist Church, and a lot of that stuff is still in you because that was a prosperity gospel. It was twisting scripture. The pastor was a homosexual, and then on top of that, he was misleading the people. He was taking little young boys, grooming them, buying gifts, buying cars, all that other stuff. His job as a pastor is not to be touching them boys, not to be buying anything for anybody's child. Let their parents buy it for them. And then on top of that, stop doing these things. God don't want us doing these things when people are out here suffering and they going through. All he wants you to give them is the gospel. Did Jesus do his walk? See, y'all don't read your Bible, so I gotta say this. When Jesus, everywhere Jesus went, he didn't go with all his disciples. He only sat with his disciples when they sat in their upper room, in the upper room, or things like that. When they had their little ministry together and everything, and he was teaching them and having a conversation. But when he went out to do his work, he went alone. Jesus didn't mess with too many disciples because he knew there was some of them that was really there to harm him. They wanted to use the movement for money, like Judas. And it ended up putting his hands in that money bag. And guess what? This man life went to the cross and died, whatever. And he had a chance to be repentant and everything else at the cross. But instead, he took his life and he became a nobody. That's the moral of the story. When you do wrong for money and you harm other people for money or power or whatever you're looking for to have influence with, it's going to end up hurting you in the long run. So be careful. And a lot of things we got to be careful about, even with the stuff when went on R. Kelly. I wasn't there to witness it. I couldn't believe that was really what happened. So that's why I wasn't putting my mouth on those things and saying the horrible things. I stayed on the side to defend him, not the side to crucify him. No, that's not right because you don't know. If you, especially when you wasn't there, oh, I heard this that's a gossiper. That's a false witness. But God hates that because you harming somebody. That's why I tell you I don't like gossip. I got to actually see it. You can't tell me something and I didn't see it and I like the person and you want to use my head to harm the person. No, we ain't doing that. My head is not the devil's playground. I keep my anointing on me. And that's why a lot of times I don't get really a lot of people on my channel because of that. They're afraid of me. They know I'm saying something that might be good, but they just afraid to say anything because they probably don't want me to correct them because they don't know if they're saying the right thing, and that's okay. I'd rather that than somebody getting on my thing and saying some horrible things and cussing me, and I say, oh, right, I rebuke you in a you know how that saying is, when that spirit come on me. I stayed in the church. My mother and father didn't have to tell me to go to church after a certain age. I got up and lift everybody in the house and go myself. I wanted to hear what the Lord had to say for me. That's who I was. This stuff ain't just come to me. I ain't learned this stuff in the world. This stuff came from my time. I came from my mother's womb. We conservative people. We were poor, but we was conservative. We have conservative values. And we were poor maybe in the material wealth of the world, but we were really rich in our beliefs and our values. Like we ain't going that route. I ain't gonna have a whole bunch of kids from a dude, and I'm gonna be living lowly like that all my life, raising hell. He ain't doing nothing. He ain't got nothing. And next thing you know, I'm mentally crazy and ill. And then the next thing you know, the kids are crazy and ill too. And some of that stuff the kids inherited. So you got to be very careful. And I said, Revelations is here. This wicked beast that was causing harm to the lives of many innocent Americans should not have anything to do with this nation anymore. No longer tolerated should no longer tolerated, should be here in the kingdom of how God wanted us to build our lives. I said Americans are the most influencers. We the influencers of the world. We the most influential people of the world. And we not supposed to be doing the stuff that some people do and they show it on TV and then everybody else want to try it too. You look at them people in Africa, they come in here. Oh, we love America. Oh, we want to come there. Oh, because we the influencers. That's how blessed we were. See, y'all didn't understand what was really giving us all the gifts. And that's why Jamal Bryant and these demon pastors that's misleading and doing all this other stuff to the young people, that's how they are putting that stuff not only to it's going on in their church, it's coming out of the church and it's going out to us and it's going out to the world because now, people are right now we global. People can see things on the internet. So you got to be very careful the way you are leading people in your shepherding because people are watching. and it's getting around in the world because oh they do it like that. Yeah, let me. You saw all the foolishness on some of these YouTube videos, and look at that one that went to jail. The one that had the church up in Brooklyn doing all of that, pimp daddy stuff up in that church. People can't afford to have their souls being played like that because eventually you going to harm a lot of people, and then you ain't gonna want to live up to it. And you didn't think you did something wrong because you so foolish in your stupid spirit. You so confused that you start harming people, you start harming yourself and everything. I don't know if he's still white. What was his name again? If somebody ever come across the name, just white something. He stole all that money from people, living $1 million house, or the Gucci. They called him the bling pastor or whatever like that. And then there was another pastor that was in the scriptures saying some vow stuff with the scriptures and being valid. That's why I said that's why I'm like I don't like to get hit with certain spirits because certain things will come out of me, and so that's why I try to stay away from it because you can't speak with the scriptures and have your other stuff coming out of your mouth. The cussing pastor, both of them dead, gone, whatever. We don't know if they went to heaven. We don't know if they went to hell. But what's his name? Whitehead is still here or whatever bishop, whatever his name was. And then he had the nerve to give himself a high anointing name as a bishop. If people read their Bibles, they wouldn't be following these false teachers. Bishops don't have that kind of stuff going on. Bishops is just basically in the word. They preaching the gospel or teaching the gospel or evangelizing, whatever they might do. Because usually bishops they have one wife. They not out here slutting around and doing all the whoremonger stuff that some people put the name bishop on, and they whoremongers. You are no God will destroy you for that. Don't sit up there and claim a religious name or an anointing name and then turn around and do all of these wicked things. God hates that. God wants you to be in spirit and in truth. And if he see that there's any unclean thing, he's going to call you out. You can't be deceitful. That's why I said these people could try to hide and run and do all this other stuff. But even if they try to hide and try to be an American, you can still see they ain't an American. Even if when they try to identify. That's why I'm glad they passed the SAFE Act. Don't come and identify yourself as one of us and it's not us. They're gonna call it out. And the reason they're gonna call it out, that's why some stupid idiot liberal white fool out here, because I'm in Delaware, I'm in Biden state. And I had to take a Uber ride and we were talking, and I think it was during the election time and they were talking about and I said to him and everything, I said, well, I like Trump. And he said, I don't know why you like him. He ain't gonna really do this liberal white. He was just gonna talk my mind down the plane, be another Democrat, and put me back into the slave master's hands or the evil, party's hands, so they could keep me in poverty. And they ain't doing nothing for you. Ain't doing nothing for you. Vote, vote, vote. They bring in more immigrants into the United States to take the jobs that could be American jobs. And then they sit in there thinking they taking over and they're going to talk to you any kind of way. That's how I haven't been out there. I said that school, that lady, that Indian international woman, she ain't going to be there very long because I already prayed on it. God going to snatch it right from her. They already sent me the thing because I've been on fighting it. They're going to snatch it right from her. You don't come in my country and think you're going to talk to me talk down to me and make me try to wear a uniform to work. That's just ain't going to happen. Okay, this ain't the kind of way it should be. We a school. We should be able to come in with whatever we want. We ain't no damn daycare. You a school. You advertise your. This is how stupid and ignorant they are. I had so many of them in Delaware. That's why I say Trump come to Delaware. Please get to Delaware, Trump. Please get to Delaware. I need that school. Delaware, Trump. If you don't, I need that school, Trump. I need that school. I'll put the flag in there. I'll do everything you want me to do as far as long as them kids ain't coming out DEI. Okay? They're going to be on merit. Because I told them already. I said that on my resume. I said that when I came to the interview, what my teaching strategies was. It wasn't like I came there to be no damn. It was like maybe she thought I was a black woman, so she thought that's kind of discriminative. Don't you think so? You judge me because of the color of my skin. You didn't even know you, and then you found out how intelligent I was. That kind of like, oh, because that's who they think they are. They think they smart. They think they know everything. I can't stand them. Send them back to their funky country over there in India, that dirty ass place. Fucking curry ass, smelling ass. Anyway, Americans are the most influencers of the world, and God want it now unite with black and white Americans. We are the first families of the White House, dead presidents, and they enslaved children and free. Dr. King's dream. Anybody that do not accept the commandments that God instruct should never hold any leadership over the lives of innocent citizens. This has been going on for over 250 years. See, it's been 250 years. It's time now God is getting that stuff out of here. And it was for 250 years. Like I said, we was here longer than 250 years. But 250 years is when we broke away from Britain. Okay? Under the leaderships of kings and queens. The people like that. We had went through the war with them to break away from them. Yep, and it's a harming the innocent sheep of God's shepherd, yes, Jesus. We never were supposed to have all these different nations living inside our nation with a pagan religion, harming our lives and forcing ideology, religion, forcing people to accept our evil God. When the president was trying to restore law and order, Satan wanted to turn the wickedness on the leader of our nation. These wicked politicians refuse to stand, protect the lives of the American people, lives first. Instead, they chose treason. I said, turning against the United States government is a serious crime. They all should be dismissed from their role and deported out to El Salvador or wherever there is a prison in the foreign nation they protect. America cannot allow people to be that evil for greed and power. That's wicked after God has given them chance after chance to change their ways. They mind so reprobate. They went in churches, interrupting grieving funerals to trash the president and speaking things they should not in holy sacred places. The deceased was a man of the gospel who had a prophetic voice. I was a child at a very young age who lost my dad in that same year at my elementary school graduation when Reverend Jackson poured into my future. You are somebody. It was like my dad was talking to me from the heavens, watching me in my next chapter of stepping into my future. And Reverend Jackson Sr. was like my dad because daddy had that Pan African voice and he didn't live to see that moment. And I remember at my dad's casket, I kissed him and I said, "You're not going to be, oh, well, I made a type. And these sometimes it's hard for me to type with this thing here for my graduation. Reverend Jackson Sr. was also who moved me to register to vote before leaving high school. I love me some Reverend Jackson Sr., and so did a lot of my classmates with the Pan African fist and froze and buttons and the Pan African rhythm. Okay? Those wicked people ruined it, except Bill Clinton. He was my mother's favorite because she felt his sincerity when he was about to be impeached. Mommy was losing her mind for Bill. She couldn't live another experience of Watergate. Oh my God. She couldn't live another experience of Watergate like President Nixon. She called the White House. I get it from my mommy with these presidents. You know what I'm saying? I said, keep your presidents. Don't mess with all these other foreign money and all that other stuff because people could get into our system. That's why I'm telling y'all that. Everybody want to create, you got some money? Oh, send me a cash app. We got to get rid of that stuff. And I think our government need to work on that. That's not my thing, but that's what they got to do. I don't know what they want to do, but I think we need to go back to opening up banks like telecommunications. Anybody want to do any transaction with us, we could trace it, and it has to be done the old-fashioned way. We got to go back because these people are too wicked, and they're getting into our money and currency, and see all that money they funnel out of our country like that on terrorism. So the order to stop it, we're gonna have to stop all the online money transaction things. They're gonna have to snatch that stuff out of it because that's how they've been sending money through all of these cryptos and all these systems like that, and that's not good to have all your information, this money going out like that because you don't know who you support in these money, transactions with. I said, Mommy said, do the old way. Get checks and belts and no negotiable instruments. Like I said, that's how I can talk the language with Trump. Get yourselves. You could do the stocks. Go to your bank, whatever. You do your stocks or whatever. Well, I don't know if you could get to Manhattan stock exchange, because you got Mondani down there. Look where they at. They want to be in a place where there's money. So that right there should lead you to who they are. They not here for America. They here for the money. They doing terrorism. They funneling money out of the United States to their terrorist organizations. So you can't mess with these people. These people of evil. Anybody that hits your towers, the World Trade Center, and who have been connected to a culture, a religion, or anything. I don't care how nice they might act, how good they might act. You came up in that culture, and it's gonna come out of you one way or the other. It's gonna come out. So you gotta go. You ain't American. No, we don't want no Muslims in our country. No, no, no. And people been saying that for years. That's why that man was saying he didn't want Muslims in there. He don't want you in his country in Poland. He know y'all coming in. Y'all breeders. Y'all breeders. That's the culture. They keep the names, the breed, the name. Then you see when he took down Iran, there's another one pops up. You know, like those people are breeders. Their names all sound the same, and they just ignorant. God cussed that side of the world. We invited them in, and that was how to get them out. But God gonna get them out for Trump because of the fact that he didn't invite them. That wasn't his. He didn't do it. Obama invited them. He opened up that it was okay. All these damn foreigners coming in. It was right after he was elected they started coming in. More. It was some already here, but then it was more when he got in office. And then they try to reduce us like, oh, well, we got to respect everybody. This is America. Like, we got a God that we serve here. And we got to, and then they trying to stop you from talking about religion. They just put religion there so that you won't talk about Christ. So religion could be anything. So we ain't talk. If you ain't talking about the Bible, you ain't talking about the God of the Bible, then you not supposed to be here. That's it. No other God but him. And if you're talking and honoring, you come here and you can't practice your God. You got to go back to your country. Look, they don't got so comfortable out there in Michigan. They start praying all up in the street, building all this. They wanted to buy land. That's how ignorant they are. They mind God is these people are so wicked and so evil that you can't tell them they can't do that here unless they want to kill you. Like they belong here. God will strike them down. Get off this land. This land don't belong to you. You got your own country that you all fucked up. Go over there and stink up the place and live the way you want to live. We don't practice your God and you're not going to reduce ours. We didn't. This is how our God raised us nation to be, and you are in a sacred place. You all the way over here, and you supposed to go back to your country. Everybody want them out of their country. They breeding all over the place, trying to take over people's clan. God gave everybody their own nation, their own God, their own. I mean, not own God. He only one God. One God. If you ain't gonna serve that one God on the nation, then you need to go. Because you driving people crazy, you opening businesses, you raising prices on food, you raising prices on real estate, you raising rate. God gonna knock you out of here. God gonna send a plague to get you out. Y'all start dying. He will do it. He done it before in the Bible. Look at what happened when Moses' time, when Pharaoh was like trying to be wicked, not letting the Hebrew slaves loose, go on and move on and do their thing and get their reparations and start their own new life in their new land of milk and honey. What did they do? The people brought some of them wicked, untestable things with him. And then he was like, oh no, those are on the Lord's side. You come on with me. Those who want to stay out there and be wicked and when they flesh and then you stay and burn in hell. Okay? Because that's the kind of person. You feel a spirit when you get into the Bible, you will hear the story. But he was like, look, and this is just what's going on. If God has to send a plague to get them out of here, he will do it. Because they think they slick. They think they're going to stay in America like they made this their home. It is not your home. No Muslim's supposed to be on this land. Nobody that don't serve the God of the Bible should be in America. Point blank, period. Make it very clear. That's why Trump said we got to be there to rededicate the flag to America. Because these people trying to take over. And they being wicked about it. We don't gave them the TPS status and they build their lives here and they don't want to go home. And sometimes when you go in there, here come the woke ideology people. Oh, well, you can't do it. Drag the motherfuckers out if you have to. God said it. Kill them all. He said it to King David. Not David, Saul. He went and making negotiations and shit. Still trying to hold on to the good stuff for them. No, I don't give a fuck they good. I don't give a fuck how long they been in this goddamn country. They're getting the fuck out. We don't want that shit to come back in America. These people don't stole, and this thing just happened. This been going on for years, the trillions of dollars. Trillions. Trillions, and your people over there starving, and you mean to steal this? Because they breeders. Next time, don't be doing no charities overseas. All you do is give them the word of God. You give them the gospel. He says, preach my gospel through the world, not give them food, money. Brought that nasty Jezebel up here. She got out the Congress. Oh, y'all better go and anoint that place. I forgot to do it. Y'all better go in there with some priests and get all them demons out of there. All them fucking foreigners sitting up in the government. They can't even run shit. Ain't running me. How is you gonna fall? How are you leading me and you couldn't lead you in your motherfucking own country? Get the fuck out of here. Kill them all. If that's going to have to happen and God give Trump the assignment to do it, ain't nobody going to stop him because he's going to turn into a goddamn Hitler. Okay? And ain't nobody going to stop him because they gonna get rounded up and killed too. We ain't playing no more with these damn breeders. They breeders. Nobody want a bunch of breeders in their nation. That's why I tell that bitch, you better be careful about Hitler. Okay? Because Hitler was used for a certain reason. People breeding. It makes you evil. It does. They evil. You don't know your limit. All your people all over the place. And then on top of that, they could be working and making money, but they nasty, smelly, and stinky. Some of them are nasty, they going through their fast. They want to be around you all funky and stuff. They don't wash their ass. That ain't the way you're supposed to fast. Jesus said it. When you fast, you clean yourself up. You don't go out there looking like you sad in the face or whatever. He said it. And these people don't do it the way we do it. So they got to go. They stink. Nobody want nobody funky up their place. They got a smell in them. They got certain foods they eat. I don't eat everybody's food. I don't eat all that foreign food in my body. I keep it away from me. I stay on my soul food or maybe my Italian food, something like that. My cabbage, like I'm a freaking out. Those are our people too. You know, those were our first immigrants. And they weren't the ones coming in like y'all motherfuckers. And then they went talk about, oh, y'all being racist. No, you're not supposed to be here. It's the truth, it's the truth. Get the fuck out. Ain't nobody being racist. Shit, you can't even tell motherfuckers they fucking with you and they harming you and they disrespecting you without saying, oh, well, some ideology shit. Your motherfuckers are not supposed to be in the United States. That's where you gotta go. Jesus wasn't always speaking so clean. When he was mad, he was mad. That's why them motherfuckers was mad when they got together to kill him. And the same thing with, I don't think Dr. King didn't cut loose either. He was still a young man. He had to cut some motherfuckers up. And that's why I cut up with my mouth. I said, that's why when that spirit get on me, I can't be around people. You ain't gonna want to hear this mouth. I have to jack you up with my mouth. Get these people the freak out of the United States so we can have back our land, our jobs, our lives, our spirit of America, and be out there flowing. I said, woo. When Trump said that, I was like, woo, I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it. Even if I'm not going to be there, I'm getting my flag. Matter of fact, I'm going to get my flag today. I'm getting, everybody got to have their flag, though. Getting my flag today. I'm going to go find me a flag. I ain't got one. Oh, I should tell my husband to get one to bring to the house and stuff. Yeah, because I'm like, yo, these people coming in our country, making up our laws. Go to your own country and make up your laws. And God going to make sure that happen. You want to be leadership? Go lead over there and fix us of that damn shitty-ass country you come from. We don't need your leadership. We know how to lead ourselves. Because we read the Bible. And we do what Christ say do, not you. So get out of our country and boop, leave us alone. I don't care how long you've been here. You could have been here. Next thing you know, you filing for citizenship for another relative. Oh, fuck out of here. They use that damn immigrant. And I think that shit need to stop too. Everybody need to stay in their own goddamn land. And if you try to cross that border, you just get shot the fuck down. We ain't arresting you. You getting shot the fuck down. We ain't going for that shit no more. Y'all fucking need to stay in your own country. Leave us alone. And if you don't speak English, get the fuck out of America, because that's going to be the only language we speak. Okay? Get the fuck out of America. You ain't staying. Don't give a fuck. Y'all fucking motherfuckers. Y'all just coming over here. Next thing you know, y'all bringing every goddamn body. No, no, no. You stay in your own country. What's the problems there? We went through a whole lot of shit on this land. You don't know. You don't know the history. You don't know American history. You think everything was always this good? No, it wasn't. We fought. We lost people. We got killed, hung, lynched, burnt the fuck down, all kind of shit. It wasn't that easy, and we want to let you come here and live good. Hell no. Go to your country and go back. We brought y'all in because that was the fucking Democrats. They need a slave. They need somebody to do all the dirty work for them. They need to play in somebody's goddamn head with their ideology. And even when they get weak in their flesh, they could use you for their sex joy or whatever. That's the motherfucking Democrats. They need to get the fuck out of here. We just should just be a Republican and nobody else come over to this country uninvited. If you want to come as a tourist or whatever, you can't come as a Muslim. Just can't come. None of those nations are coming in our country. I'm sorry, we can't do it. We can't afford to do it. We can't take any chances. Those people always come with some kind of, scheme. The devil, he's very clever. He'll try to find his little nice, hi, how are you? Yeah, they try to talk like English, and then they'll try to talk like they like us, and then next thing you know, they got plots and how they gonna set up to do their terrorism. Fuck out of here. I don't trust them people. I never did. My spirit, I just had to tolerate them. To live here in the United States, those were the laws because they tricked the system. Oh, that's going to be civil. Well, I'm civil rights, okay? I'm running civil rights. They don't need to be here. And God's going to make sure, I'm going to pray about that. God get them a plague or something and just kill them all. I don't even want them dying on our land. That's how fucking stinking funky they are. I don't want that fucking spirit in this land. You don't. I said, shit, them KKKs, they used to burn down the damn black church. Why the fuck they burn down they mosque? You gotta burn that shit. Sometimes you gotta blow shit up with dynamite. Get that shit out of our country. God said, kill them all. He told Saul, what's his name? Saul, kill them all. He try to save the good. No, get the fuck out of here. No, he had a reason for that. They breeders. They were evil. It's in 1 Samuel chapter 15. These people were evil. They was just like these people. And as I'm reading it, I'm saying that's who they probably were. When you read the scriptures, that's who they probably was. The Amalekites. Let's go. Let's go and see it for ourselves. I think I'm joking. I'm going to show you these damn... I'm going to let you hear their spirit. How to... that's why I said there's flesh, there's spirit. You don't see them, but they there. You know what I'm saying? You don't see them, but they there. They around us. They in our business markets, all that shit. I don't want 16. I want 15. That's when he lost his anointing. Let's go if you think I'm lying. When God kills. When he telling you to get out of somebody else's country and they trying to tell you and they serve the Lord. And he anointed everything in this country anyway because we was the influences of the world. And you here trying to harm us and you trying to take over this place. God said, this ain't your place. Go home to your land. It says, Samuel said to Saul, I am the one the Lord sent to anoint you king over his people Israel. So listen now to the message from the Lord. This is what the Lord Almighty says. I will punish the Amalekites for what they did to Israel. See, there go Israel. That's Jewish people. That's us. Judah. This is Judah. Okay? That's Jesus's relatives. When you talk about, whenever you see Israel, that's where Jesus came from. He came from that region of the world. He did not come from Africa. Here they are talking, they look like us. God spread they were black, but they wasn't from Africa. They were dark-skinned people, like we are, but they just wasn't from Africa. And everybody keep telling us they come here, they look like us, but he said some will come and look like you and that they not you. Or say they me and they not me. That's what Jesus says, how you got to try the spirit. Them Africans ain't us. They look like us, but they not us. And they trying to stay here and say they us, and we all related and we African. No, we not. That's why we don't get along with y'all. We don't connect. We don't, share the same identity. Where you going at? We Jews too. Yeah, he got different kinds of Jews. You got the Nazarenes, you know, dark skinned people. You see the dreadlocks and shit. That comes from over there in Jamaica. hmm That's how they culture got into it with us. People talking about they look like, oh my God, all these different damn cultures and religions and identities and shit. You can't even tell all this. Either you black or you white in America. That's it. Okay? That's who we are. That's how we are. Like I said, the white family is the first family, and we were they. We grew up to. You could say we just family because there was some black families inside the White House too. So there we go. And it says, like, just like I could tell you, like Moses. Moses grew up in Pharaoh's house. His family, his whole family, all that time, Moses was being raised by the Pharaoh family. But Moses killed a a person, a governor, or somebody like that, because he saw him hurting a slave, one of his people. So that's what happened with Moses. Moses, he had a temper. What the fuck you doing? And then when the what you call it really loved Moses. But he couldn't stay there after what he did. He didn't kill him. He just had to leave and find a new home, a new land, a new place to go. And they only gave him a certain amount of food to get across the damn desert. Scorpions and all kind of shit, snakes and rattlesnakes and shit. I could imagine leaving someplace and have to go or whatever. And they bring him in chains, but what you call it, let him go and just let him go free and just don't come back. He was just Exodus. Mm, he was exiled. Yeah, so then he came back after God. He went and spoke to God, and God dealt with him or whatever. He got mad. That's when he went on the Mount Sinai and he met with God, and God, told him what his assignment was, and then he had to go with his brother Aaron, and his Aaron was the one because Moses used to have like a temper. So when he spoke, you'll find his character when you read the Bible. I tell people you're gonna find these people are here today. The Amalekites is them damn Arabs and them damn Muslims, and they are breeding fucking culture. And that's why God told Saul to kill them all. Because they breeders. And king over his people. That's why Trump is hitting them with them bombs. And everybody up there, oh, why Trump is hitting them over there with them bombs. But Trump can't let shit come to the United States. He have to bomb them whole fucking country out. You don't give a fuck. You getting kids killed and everything. We don't give a fuck. We don't want they fucking kids to grow up and come back at us, so we bomb them motherfuckers. Let them know that we ain't playing. This shit gonna go on for a while. That's why Israel had to join. Because Israel is us. The black children in America, the American black children, the Judah, and then you got the white kids. It's us. Just us. We ain't have all these goddamn different cultures and religions and shit when we were coming up, when our ancestors and everything. No, it was just only us. We don't need these motherfuckers over here. We all have our own responsibility to do. And he gave both of us a part of it. We the black people, we work down here with civil rights and shit, and they ain't getting it. And then y'all the White House, and whatever we say, if we feel this is not right, and we say it's not right, then it's not right. But if it's right, we say it's right. Okay? They don't get to say nothing. They immigrants. They populating all over the goddamn land. So shut the fuck up, Elon, and take your ass on over there if you want to. You're a traitor. You're a treason. You're a nasty Jezebel. So get the fuck off our goddamn land. It says, I am the one Lord. He said he's anointed the king over the people Israel. So listen now to the message from the Lord. They can't hear us. They can't hear us. That's why I'm talking so boldly. They can't hear us. They not in our world. They just hear where they not supposed to be, and they can't hear us because God is protecting the words. He's saying, look, this is how you got to say it. I said, this is what the Lord Almighty says. I will punish the Amalekites for what they did to Israel when they waylaid them as they came up from Egypt. Now go attack the Amalekites and totally destroy all that belongs to them. Do not spare them. Put to death men and women, children and infants, cattle and sheep, camels and donkeys. So Saul summoned the men and mustered them at Telahim, 200,000 foot soldiers and 10,000 from Judah. See? Hello, we there. Saul went to the city of Amalek and set an ambush in the raven. Then he said to the Kenites, "Go away, leave the Amalekites, so that I do not destroy you along with them. For you showed kindness to all the Israelites when they came up out of Egypt." So the Kenites moved away from the Amalekites. Then Saul attacked the Amalekites all the way from Havilah to Shur, near the eastern borders of Egypt. He took Agag. See, the eastern borders of Egypt. Where the fuck they come from? Okay, now you know who they are. And that's why I say Trump gonna have to fucking, be Hitler. Mm-hmm. She want Hitler, she gonna get Hitler. If she don't fucking get the fuck out of America. He took Agag, king of the Amalekites, alive, and all his people he totally destroyed with the sword. But Saul and the army spared Agag, and the best of the sheep and cattle, the fat cows and lambs, everything that was good. These they were unwilling to destroy completely, but everything that was despised and weak they totally destroyed. Then the word of the Lord came to Samuel. "I regret that I have made Saul king, because he has turned away from me and has not carried out my instructions." Samuel was angry, and he cried out to the Lord all that night. Early in the morning, Samuel got up and went to meet Saul, but he was told, "Saul has gone to Carmel. There he has set up a monument in his own honor, and his has turned and gone on down to Gilgal." When Samuel reached him, Saul said, "The Lord bless you. I have carried out the Lord's instructions." But Samuel said, "What then is this bleating of sheep in my ears? What is this lowing of cattle that I hear?" Saul answered, "The soldiers brought them from the Amalekites. They spared the best of the sheep and cattle to sacrifice to the Lord your God, but we totally destroyed the rest." "Enough," Samuel said to Saul. "Let me tell you what the Lord said to me last night." "Tell me," Saul right high. Samuel said, "Although you were once small in your own eyes, did you not become the head of the tribes of Israel? And he sent you on a mission saying, 'Go and completely destroy those wicked people.'" Okay? So God don't kill? God don't command you to kill? When people are invading your land and doing kind of wicked stuff, it's time for you to kill them. And anybody get in their way, they gonna go down too. Don't come over here crying, because we gotta get this disease out of our state. We gotta get it out. And we can't. And the thing is they got all the way up until Easter to get the fuck out. And I'm only saying that is because right now we in fasting and praying and stuff. So we just gonna just bomb the motherfuckers out. Bomb over there so they don't keep coming. And I don't give a fuck how they damn whoever leader, prime, whatever, is over there crying about how evil Trump is acting. Yo, you evil motherfuckers are acting evil because you keep coming to a place where you got invited. And you're trying to force your way in to take over. And our God is bigger than your God, because our God is the God of the Bible. And this is his son, Jesus, talking, saying to you, okay? You in somebody's land, you doing things that are wicked. So it's time for you to get off our land, go back to your own land, and you can do all that shit over there. But as long as you try to keep coming over here, you're going to get bombed the fuck up. That's it. We ain't compromising our God with you. And I'm sorry that Obama made a deal with you. We going to deal with his ass. Okay? And he sent you on a mission saying, "Go and completely destroy those wicked people. The Amalekites wage war against them until you have wiped them out." Why did you not obey the Lord? Why did you pounce on the plunder and do evil in the eyes of the Lord? "But I did obey the Lord," Saul said. "I went on the mission the Lord assigned me. I completely destroyed the Amalekites and brought back Agag the king." The soldiers took sheep and cattle from the plunder, the best of what was devoted to God, in order to sacrifice them to the Lord. And God said, "No, I told you to kill them all. We ain't doing no sacrifice. It's better to obey than the sacrifice." We don't make no we don't make no kind of deal with them. You want to keep them out? Don't make friends with them. Get them the fuck out. That's it. Don't do no business. Don't care what the United Nations say. No, we ain't doing that. They get the fuck out of our United Nations too. Nobody want them people in their goddamn country. Why y'all want to be bringing evil spirits and all that in everybody's land? These are breeders. We don't want nothing from them. That's how the devil play with you. He play on you on flesh, money, business negotiations. And then they feel they have a right to be here. Whatever they got, it stays here in the United States of America because we are, that's our stuff anyway. Get the fuck out the land, okay? Get your passport, book your flights. God will protect the skies to make sure you get there safely. Get the fuck out of America. And that's how I feel. You keep coming over here, you're going to get bombed the fuck up. You might even get killed. You take your ass over to El Salvador. How about that? And put you in another foreign country because we ain't want you to come back. Because he got a place there for you to stay forever. Until you die. We tired of y'all. All y'all do is come over here and foul up the land. We ain't negotiating with no fucking Muslims. And that's right. Poland need to get in the fight too. Bomb them too. Everybody tired of them. Everybody. All this Sharia shit. Serve the God of the Bible and you could be free just like we are and build in your country and make it just as beautiful. But no, y'all want to do evil. Whew. That's what I wanted to show y'all. Coming people land. Don't want to respect the land. Get out of here. I said, and then, excuse me, y'all. I said, Americans are the most influencers. I already said that. And anybody that do not accept us, they have to leave. The commanders, the guard instructor should never hold any leadership over the lives of innocent citizens. This has been going on for over 250 years, harming the innocent sheep of God's shepherds, Jesus. We were never was supposed to have all these different nations living inside one our nation because that's how ignorant they are. They think one nation under God. Now we don't serve your God. You ain't serving the same God. We already seen that. So you're not under the nation with our God. In the invisible, because that's invisible because God is in there speaking like we gonna see them from when he show us who they are that don't belong here. He getting them out. I say, when the president was trying to restore law and order, Satan wanted to turn the wickedness on the leader of our nation. These wicked politicians refuse to stand to protect the lives of the American people, lives first. Instead, they choose treason. Turning against the United States government is a serious crime. They all should be dismissed from their role and deported out to El Salvador or wherever there is a prison in the foreign nation they protect. America cannot allow people to be that evil for greed and power. That's wicked after God has given them chance after chance to change their ways. They mind so reprobate. They went in churches interrupting grieving funerals. I already spoke that and I said about Jesse Jackson's funeral and my mother. And I said, Mommy and said Monica Lewinsky was dirty and was looking for a career. That's a married man. My mom was a devoted Catholic. She said the black church was too nosy. It was too noisy for her. It was too noisy for my mother. It wasn't good for her mental. She was a very nervous woman and she used to get out. So it wasn't really good for her to be in that kind of around her people, even though she sometimes liked to come out and support me when I used to have Women's Day and everything. But my mother she needed to be in a calm place. She couldn't take the noise. And a lot of black people can't. They don't all go to black churches. They go to Catholic church or whatever. They like to sit down and listen to the word quietly. Some people like the noise and the shouting and the cleaning and the clapping and all that. And some of them don't. Some of them have some things that they dealing with and they just need it quiet. Some peace. And she was a widow. She did activism, but that's me. Mommy did an activism though. She was with Shirley Chisholm because she was supposed to be fighting for like women rights and jobs and stuff. That's what they did back then. But some people said she was like a lesbian or whatever. She had lesbian vibes. I don't know. I ain't never see her do nothing lesbian. As my mother worked with her on campaign. I said, but in a quiet way. But I loved my AME spirit. And because we were more conservative. AME could have been, back then, if AMEs was considered more conservative, the Baptists were louder than the AME church. The AME church was a little bit more closer to being Methodist. They were more Methodist. Yeah. It was a little more quiet. See, you find your spirit in the church. But mine was AME, and they're very conservative, and they're very structured. And they do have opened up a lot of HBCUs that actually President Trump He paid these HBCU schools when they were about to go bankrupt. Okay, that damn these damn black people are something else. I don't mess with that damn group thinking shit. I don't get into all that skin color. I just never was that type of person because most of my friends I was in my banking world with me were more white. I was like maybe the mm, and let me tell you another thing. That shit fucked me up because these black people will pull you into shit and fuck up your career. They were saying black people were being undiscriminated against. They found some kind of discrimination against the company, and they needed people to witness and da 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 da. So I got there. Everybody was like rah 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 at the meeting. I really didn't wasn't care because I really liked the department I worked in. But when you first step foot in back office, when you in the corporate world, the first thing you're gonna learn is things. Some might start in the front, some might start through the back, but some things you still got to keep up with your training. You got to go to school. You got to go to training so you know when the new system is coming, you're being trained. Then they also taught some other things like non-tolerance, whatever, manage, how to work in a work environment, how to do things, how not to do things. So, we had to keep up with a lot of professional training class. Yeah, I would think they would show reference at this homegoing the respects to the grieving families and relatives and co-workers in Christ. When your heart is corrupt, you do not care to even honor God's house. Even the corrupt false prophets that joined in with the corruption along with them. False prophets should be held at the highest level of the standard. Jamal H. Bryant is a disgusting leader of the faith, which he should know better that he was raised in the faith in the AME church. His father, a retired bishop, John Bryant, caught hell behind his son. He was embarrassed. He took a step down from the faith. I grew up under his father's teaching. He was a good shepherd because he was more close to my pastor, which was Pastor Floyd Flake. He's very much known, and he used to tell them, "Don't ain't coming over here opening no doggone liquor store on no Sunday. Y'all not gonna even build anything on my next to my church on a Sunday." Okay, he told them. I had a good teacher. I think Floyd was really cool. I loved him. He's not doing too well now. I gotta find out because I gotta call one of my church sisters from there. I haven't spoken to her. Her name is Karen. So I said, this ignorant whoremonger and sexual immoral Jamal H. Bryant is not has no anointing to be a teacher of the gospel of Jesus Christ. Has been warned. Jamal been getting into that pulpit, misleading many souls to hell at that homosexual lover church, New Birth Missionary Baptist, for a long history of his misconduct in the church, and he's been, getting away with it. His misconduct in the church and destroyed many innocent souls. Jamal refused to change and get people inside the church to transform their life. It got so bad with him, he will flaunt a wife publicly in an ungodly way. And she is supposed to set an example as a woman, a pastor's wife, a woman of the faith. Instead of accepting the correction of his misconduct in the church from a traveling preacher who was white evangelist David Huff, I took down names as I said I gotta remember this because I know he go. I said I have to give the names. David Huff or whatever. He took, and he came in to warn Jamal. He said it. That man wasn't walking in no doggone flesh. That man was in the spirit. People was telling him, "Stop doing it, Jamal." And he's so caught up in the flesh, he didn't notice that was probably Jesus. You know what I'm saying? He said, "You don't know who I look like." That's why he never identified his real true color. I mean, he didn't identify a race. He just said his ethnicity. He's a Jew. Okay. Instead of the elders correcting Jamal and removing him from the pulpit, his organization, they gave him a high achievement award from the NAACP because of the racist they are. The same organization that had Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. slain his brother AD and his mother Alberta W. King, and helped to conspire to rewrite his story and his work. King knew they wanted to kill him. He got to them before the lie became the truth, so he preached his own eulogy. That's how I've been rebuking the unspeakable, untold truth with April Chapman and Vince Everett Ellison, the conservative, carnal, opportunist Christians. What is spirit, but what is flesh is looking to get something done by destroying a man's legacy. The FBI had him in a place to threaten with harming him for years, bombing his home, sending death threats to his family, Neither Vince or April um, lived through that experience, and both devils carry and share platforms trying to destroy Democrats. They both blind in how just as wicked they are like the Democrats. They so blind they can't even see they is as wicked as the Democrats. They destroying the Democrats, and then they put, oh, Martin Luther King, he marched them in. Things to make Martin Luther King legacy sound like he wanted black people to go with Democrats when he was a Republican, and the man was really a man of the gospel that was really trying to warn them. He didn't want that for them. He wanted these people to have their peace, their life, don't harm them, leave them alone, give them their money, let them build their lives, but they gave them welfare, and they had to kill them just to give it to them. Listen to some. He left a whole lot of sermons, and I'm known people are sitting on her platform listening to this, and she keep talking about it. This woman every time. I rebuked you. I rebuked you. I rebuked you. I'm tired of you. You're a Democrat. Okay, you and him both Democrats. You opportunist, carnal minded, and you evil. You Democrats. You not Republicans, and I want Trump to know that they're not Republicans. They're Democrats. They're opportunists. They'll do anything to kill somebody just to get an opportunity. It's just like the Democrats. The NWC and the SCLC sold him out to the Democrats to ruin black lives, gave black people living hell. Anytime they tried to rebuild their lives was terrorized by many years. King was a Republican. If we want the dream is ours with MAGA. No black person should ever serve that demonic party ever again. The history is too painful. That's why God chose Trump to lead us. I do not hear nothing from that wicked side. I don't need it. I don't need to hear anything from that wicked side. Whatever they got to offer, I wouldn't even take it. Side of government. They ruined too many lives. They the Antichrist. They always been, and it's important black America flip red. President Trump is moving us in the right direction with God's anointing protecting him. And I'm following the movement. I am on my assignment that's been called in my work as a prophetic voice to lead you to move with my writing and my voice. A new America just for the American people and the children inheritance. They will harm us no more. Christ this time come with the keys of Hades, and where they going, they will not be coming back to the United States. This great land of milk and honey, this is the promised land of his kingdom that he brought people all over the world to enjoy the fruit of all they labor, and everybody receives fair justice. Final judgment, the wicked, along with the devil, the beast, and the false prophets, are cast into the lake of fire, which is described as the second death. Revelations 20:10 through 15. Here you go. That's where you going. To the lake of fire. Okay? Y'all so wicked. Y'all gonna burn in your flesh. They're gonna burn. So with that being said, I just wanted to come real quick. I'm getting a little hungry. So I was able to help somebody today. Please like, share, subscribe if you have to. And if you first time here on my channel, welcome. Subscribe, and when you do, hit the bell so when I come on, you'll get the notification. God bless. Love you. Peace.